Hi, and welcome to BUS330, Principles of Finance. This is an online course, and this video is going to give you all the information you need to get started with this course. First thing you should realize is that this red bar up here is the quick navigation menu. Clicking Course Home will always bring us back to the home page, which starts with announcements. Now, you will be having group assignments in this class, so if you click on groups, you'll be able to see the teammates in your group and contact them. Now, the assignments are broken up between Brightspace, this is Brightspace, our new course learning management software, which replaces Blackboard. So there are two types of assignments. There are the Zoom assignments, which will be here on Brightspace, and then there's the individual homework manager assignments that will be on My Finance Lab. More on that later. But right now, if you want to see the two assignments for the Zoom simulation, there's part 1, which is a solo practice, and part 2, which is a team competition. So again, click on groups to see your team. Okay. Now, let's continue with the getting started. So we're going to just read over the announcements as the first part of this video. So the first announcement is getting started with finance. And this just talks about, you should read over, watch this video to the very end, because I give some more important information at the end of the video than the beginning of the video. Read over and review all the announcements. Register for the Homework Manager My Finance Lab. This is our course ID code, which will be important later. Register for the Zoom simulation. This is our class code for the Zoom simulation. I'm going to record a separate video on how to register for the Zoom simulation so you understand that more completely. And I also have a step-by-step guide on how to play the first round of the simulation. Plus, you should also read over the syllabus when you get a chance. Now, for this course, we do have a TA. His name is Nick, and you can email him directly if you have questions about the homework or the Zoom simulation. And I would prefer for questions about the homework or the Zoom simulation that you email Nick first and give him a chance to help you before you email me. His email is down here. He is also available to meet with you in a Zoom meeting if you have make a request to him. He can set up a link and he can join him in the teller communication tool Zoom. Different than the simulation, but you understand. All right. Now, My Finance Lab. Here's the next announcements about My Finance Labs. This is the Homework Manager, and this is how to register for My Finance Lab. So it's important that when you register for the My Finance Lab to use your real first name or the same first and last name that you see in the solar system. This is our management system of your grades and your registration. So don't use any fake names or nicknames. For example, if your name is Robert, don't enter in Bobby. Keep the name identical to solar so it's easier for me to transfer your information later on when this course ends and need to submit a grade for you. Okay, so to register for the Spring 2023 course, you want to click on this link here, which is going to bring you to the My Finance Lab site. So this link will bring you to the My Finance Lab site. And when you're here, you need to register as a student if you don't already have a My Finance Lab account, or you could sign in if you previously have a Pearson account. You may have used this Homework Manager with a math class or another business class, so you could still use your same sign-in if you have a sign-in. Otherwise, you'll have to register as a new student. And when you do this, you're going to need your email address. So use your Stony Brook email address, your course ID number, and you have to pay by credit card or PayPal. So when you're ready to register, you're going to put in that course ID number, which is, I plucked this right from here is the course ID number. It's listed here, it's listed here, and under Getting Started, it's also listed here under Getting Started. So it's multiple places where you can find this. Okay. So so you want to put in your class code and go continue to register, and then it's going to prompt you to sign in, and then it will ask you to either, see here's the course code here, 330 spring 2023, and there is no access code because you did not pay the $299 for the printed textbook. So you're going to be using the credit card or PayPal option here. This gives you the homework manager and an ebook of the textbook. So it's, and then this is going to ask you to continue to register and pay with a credit card. And this will be, once you do pay, actually get in, then you'll have this screen. So just follow the instructions. It's pretty simple to register for the course. The key thing is to have the ID code and create an account or use your existing account. Now, once you get to the homework manager and log in, it's going to look like this. It may be a little different because this is the faculty account, but basically what we're using here is the Pearson e-textbook, which comes free with the homework manager. So getting the homework manager with the ebook is going to be $100 to $200 less than buying the physical book. So it's probably the most affordable option. So if you click on the e-textbook, this will bring you to a link where you can launch the e-textbook to read the textbook. The assignments here are listed in chapter order. So these would be the homework assignments and the due dates. So for each homework assignment, when you click on the homework assignment, it's going to have a number of questions to complete. So when you click on the question, it's going to look similar to this. Just make this a little smaller so you can see all the buttons. So they're going to have the actual question. So there's going to be working on question 7. You can skip around, but I probably suggest going in order. So you have to read over the instructions for the question, and this bar does move up or down in case this question is longer. And then it's going to ask you to input the answer, and then you can check your answer. If it's incorrect, you get 2 and then 3 attempts till you get your final check, and then it's going to be permanently marked wrong and you move on to the next section. So if you find that you're getting the question wrong, before just trying it again, you should click on View an Example or Help Me Solve This. I say View Example is a little bit easier. So if you go in here, it's going to show you mathematically how the problem is. As you press Continue, it's going to walk you through calculating the problem in a step-by-step basis. So it's a great tool to learn how to complete each of the homework problems for each of the questions. It'll also bring you directly to the e-textbook page that the problem is from. So if you haven't read the textbook on the problem, you should probably go do that. And there's also a Help Me Solve This button where you click here and it'll give you a similar problem that you can try and solve to see if you get it right in the practice mode. So those are the tools. These are the tools to help you get these questions correct if you're getting a lot of them wrong in the process. So in homework 1, it's going to start off with some of the basics of how to use the homework manager, and then move into the actual homework manager questions for the chapter. Okay, let me leave this. Now, so if you get a few questions wrong, once you complete the full assignment, you can actually go back under assignments, and then you can restart the homework assignment once, but only once you fully complete it. You fully complete it, you get the score. You have the option of restarting the homework assignment, which will erase everything you did, and you'll have to start again from step 1. If you get one question wrong, you can't restart it or restart that one question. You have to restart the whole assignment. So you can't do it in the middle. It's only at the end of the assignment can you restart the entire assignment to try as a second attempt. Okay. So this is where all the My Finance Lab assignments will be, and these are the dates that they're due. Pay careful attention to these due dates because there are no makeups for or late assignments accepted for the homework. This is a sample exam, so if you want to know, the exams will also be here on the midterm day and the final day. The exams will be here as well, and this is where you're going to take the exam in this assignment area of My Finance Lab. So the sample exam is just to give you an example of what the test experience would be like to take the exam. and just to get an idea of what it's going to look like, and the clock as far as the remaining time for the exam, and the questions are listed. Now, this is not a gradable assignment. It's just an example of what a midterm or final could look like. None of the questions on the sample exam are on the midterm or final, so don't worry if you get these questions wrong. These are just used as to show you what the exams are like. Okay, so we go back to the main menu. So you have the e-textbook, you have the assignments, and you have the results. So if you go here in the results, this is where you can review what you've done and your score so far for each of the homework assignments, and your overall calculation and percentage score of the class. As you complete more and more assignments and exams, your final score will be listed here. I'll also be bringing over any of the grades for the group assignment that's going to be in Brightspace. Those will be, I'll bring those over and add them to your grade book, your results grade book for, so all your grades will be completely here on My Finance Lab. Your Finance Lab grades will not be in Brightspace. They will only be in My Finance Lab, plus any Brightspace scores will be in My Finance Lab as well. I'll move them over here once those assignments are finished. Okay, we're not using any of this other stuff down here. So we're not using the study plan, the calculator, multimedia. So the only thing we're working with here is the e-textbook, the assignments, and the results. You can also go in here to review your assignments if you want to study for the exam. So after you've completed the assignments, you can go back here to review them and use them to help you study for the exams that come up, the midterm and the final. And you'll get these score bars here. If you open up your calculation, you get a full breakdown of how your score is being calculated for the class. So again, your final score and all your grades will be only will be in My Finance Lab. Okay. So that's how you sign up and use My Finance Lab to complete the homeworks and the exams and see your final grades. Okay. Here are the due dates again for My Finance Lab. Now again, they're listed. These dates are also listed under assignments. So the due dates, and these are the more accurate ones. They're all accurate, but these are the ones that are connected to, with the time, the date. I just copied them to put them in here, so there's no excuse for not knowing that you have My Finance Lab due dates. And again, no late assignments will be accepted. So the midterm and final will be a midterm on Wednesday, March 22nd, and a final on Wednesday, March 10th. Now, these are online assignments, so they open up at 6 a.m., close at 11 p.m., and they're both going to be housed on My Finance Lab. So if you want to know what the exams are like, you want to select that sample exam, and you'll get an idea of what the exam experience is like. And of course, when we get close to the midterm or final, I'll post under announcements a mini review of what to study for and what's on the exam. Okay. Now you want to click here to open up all the announcements, because they're only going to show you the first 5 or so. So as we're continuing through, we have the Zoom simulation assignment, which is an important announcement. And this is an assignment where I'm going to create a separate video to show you how to register for the simulation. I already have a video set up on how to complete the first round, but basically you're going to go to the Zoom simulation here, and you're going to register for this simulation. And to see exactly how that works, I'll post a link here soon on how to register and sign up for your team in the Zoom simulation, as well as a video on how to play. This has its own class code, and there are 2 parts. One is a solo practice where you play by yourself against computer players, and you can earn up to 20 points on this. And it's very easy to earn these 20 points. You just have to complete all 6 rounds with a score above 1600 cumulative score by February 11th. After that, part 2 starts, which is the team competition. So that's also 20 points, and your team has to score cumulative score above 2,400 points to earn the full 20 points for part 2. And these are the due dates for part 2. So you can't work ahead on this. This is a team competition, so everybody has to work on the same schedule. And these are the dates that each of the rounds are due, which are typically Sundays. On these particular days, we skip weeks for when we have a midterm or when we have a spring break, so that's why you see a big gap here. But these are the due dates. Okay, more on the simulation in that separate video, in the two separate videos I'm going to post under this announcement. Moving forward, here's the course schedule. So here's the basic outline of the chapters we're going to be covering. So the midterm will cover chapters 1 through 5, and the final will cover chapters 6 through 10, and the final is not cumulative. I do give a little tutorial. I do have a link to a tutorial on Excel. And there's also, you can get the Excel software free from Stony Brook. This is because the textbook uses Excel, and I use Excel in my lectures. I have certain videos that focus on Excel, and I have templates of Excel. So it's good to know, if you don't know the basics, to watch this video. If you have any problems with the Pearson Homework Manager, contact Pearson Support. I have no ability to help you with this. If you have problems that arise with payment or registration or just operations of the functionality of the My Finance Lab, I do suggest that you sign up for the Wall Street Journal. It's a good way to keep in touch with today's business world and financial news, that sometimes I talk about some current events that may be connected to the Wall Street Journal. And I do have a final announcement, the last couple announcements here. One is what to do if your teammate is not participating, why there are no late assignments, and the course grade. So basically here are the percentiles that get to a letter grade for the class. Okay. So those are all the announcements for the class. So that's why it's important to read over those announcements. Now, underneath the announcements, we have our table of contents tiles. So let me just make this smaller. Okay. So here we have, this is where you can click on to the syllabus and read the syllabus. So you have to click here. And this gives you just the basics of the course description, the overview, some of the materials. Of course, we need the homework manager and the Zoom simulation, the goals of the class, the assessment goals for the class, your responsibilities as a student, the grading. So this is the most important area. So 40 points for the simulation, 60 points for the homework assignments, 100 points for each exam, for a total of 300 points. Divide by 3 to get your percentile letter grade. Our class schedule, and then just some other critical management at the bottom. So that is the syllabus that you should take time to read over when you have the time. Okay. Now we also have documents. Under documents is where we have the PowerPoint slides for the class that I followed during the lecture, and the chapter lecture Excel examples. So in the lecture I do talk about, some lectures I do talk about and pull up some spreadsheets. These are the spreadsheets that you can have access to from the lecture. Okay. Now moving forward, the class videos. So if you click here, this will bring you to a link that will open up with the class videos in order that you should watch them. So I usually have 1 to 3 videos for each chapter, usually just 2 videos. One is going to be the main video on the lecture slides, and one is a video using Excel to show you how to calculate the quantitative problems in the chapter using Excel. Okay. So that's okay. Now we have the Zoom simulation website. By clicking here, it's just going to port you over to a link to get to the website, which will be important later. So that way you always know how to get to that website. And again, I have something similar for the homework manager. If you click here, there'll be a link to the My Finance Lab website. And remember, an important point about the My Finance website, when you register or sign in, make sure you use your Stony Brook email address and a password that you're going to remember, because I can't help you with password recovery. Okay, back to course home. And another thing that's important about My Finance Lab is to use your name as it appears in the solar system. No nicknames, please. So some people, I might have 5 or 6 people with the same last name. So if you don't have your real first name in there, I won't be able to assign you a grade. Okay. And then we also have the Zoom assignments. So if you click here, the Zoom assignments, this will bring you to the assignments the same way if you click on assignments here, and it'll bring you to the assignments, which are 2 of them. Neither of these assignments do you have to submit anything onto Brightspace. It's just really to give you a reminder of the due date. So again, I'm going to make it a separate video to show you how to register and use the simulation, but these are just reminders that they're broken up into 2 assignments. One is an individual for 20 points, and the second assignment is a team assignment for 20 points. And you can find your teams under groups up here. Okay. Okay, so this is just the calendar for the class, and that is the overview of Brightspace. So I'm going to now record the video for how to register and join a team for the simulation. So look forward to that, and I'll have everything posted on Brightspace. Thanks, and I hope you enjoy the course.